In the rolling hills of Willowbrook Wildlife Sanctuary, nestled on the outskirts of a quaint English town called Eldridge, the air hummed with the subtle symphony of life. The sanctuary, a sprawling 200-acre haven for endangered species, had been a beacon of conservation since its founding in the 1960s. Its crown jewel was the primate pavilion, a meticulously designed enclosure mimicking the dense rainforests of Central Africa. Here, amid towering trees, swinging vines, and hidden grottos, lived a colony of chimpanzees whose stories intertwined with the humans who guarded them. At the heart of this colony was Kira, the 58-year-old matriarch. Her fur, once a glossy black, had silvered with age, and her eyes held the wisdom of decades. Kira wasn't just any chimpanzee. She was a legend, a bridge between the wild and the captive world. Born in the lush jungles of the Congo Basin, her early life had been a tapestry of freedom and peril. As a juvenile, she roamed with her family troop, learning the arts of foraging, social negotiation, and survival. But the encroaching shadow of humanity, poachers with their rifles and traps, shattered that idyll. One fateful dawn in 1968, gunfire echoed through the canopy. Kira's mother fell, her body crumpling like a discarded leaf. The poachers, seeking bushmeat and infants for the illegal pet trade, captured the terrified young chimp. She was barely 5 years old, her world reduced to a cramped cage in a smuggling den. Conservationists from the International Primate Protection League raided the operation just in time, rescuing Kira and several others. She was airlifted to Willowbrook, where her new life began. Dr. Elias Thorne, then a budding primatologist fresh from university, was among the first to meet her. Elias, with his tousled brown hair and piercing blue eyes, had dedicated his life to understanding the minds of our closest relatives. He co-founded the Chimpanzee program at Willowbrook in 1970, envisioning it as a living laboratory for behavioral studies. Kira arrived wide-eyed and traumatized, hooting in distress. Elias spent weeks sitting outside her quarantine enclosure, offering fruits and soft words, building trust one gesture at a time. Over the years, Kira flourished. She ascended to matriarch, ruling with a blend of firmness and compassion. Her intelligence shone in problem-solving experiments. She mastered tool use. From cracking nuts with stones to fashioning spears from branches for fishing termites out of artificial mounds, Elias documented it all, his notebooks filling with observations that would later form the basis of groundbreaking papers. But beyond science, a personal bond formed. Kira would groom Elias through the bars, her nimble fingers picking imaginary fleas from his arm. In quiet moments, he'd hum an old folk tune. His grandmother taught him a lilting melody about wandering rivers to calm her during storms. The colony grew under Kira's watch. There was Jocks, the boisterous alpha male with a scar across his brow from a youthful skirmish. Leela, Kira's adopted daughter, fierce and protective. And a host of younger chimps like Miko and Zara, who learned social graces from their elder. Visitors to Willowbrook marveled at the troop's dynamics, but few understood the depth of Kira's influence. She mediated disputes with a single hoot or gesture, ensured the weak were fed, and even consoled grieving mothers after miscarriages. Her life was a testament to the emotional richness of chimpanzees, challenging the old view of them as mere beasts. As decades passed, Elias's career soared. He published books like Whispers from the Canopy, lectured worldwide, and advocated for anti-poaching laws. Yet Willowbrook remained his anchor, and Kira his muse. Their bond deepened through shared trials. A devastating flu outbreak in the 1980s that claimed several chimps, where Kira's vigilance helped contain it. A funding crisis in the 90s that Elias fought tooth and nail to resolve. And joyful births that filled the enclosure with playful energy. But time, that relentless thief, began to claim its due. By 2025, Kira was 58 ancient for a chimpanzee. Her joints ached, her vision dimmed, and her once vibrant energy waned. The sanctuary staff, a dedicated team led by headkeeper Amelia Voss, noticed the changes. Amelia, a no-nonsense woman in her 40s with a tattoo of a chimp silhouette on her arm, had grown up visiting Willowbrook. She adored Kira, often sneaking extra treats during rounds. One crisp autumn morning in September 2025, Amelia found Kira curled in her nest, unmoving. The matriarch hadn't touched her breakfast of bananas and nuts. Veterinarian Dr. Marcus Hale examined her. No obvious illness, but her age was catching up. "She's shutting down," he said somberly. "It's like she's decided it's time." The news rippled through the staff. Young intern Sophie, fresh from vet school, wiped tears as she prepared nutrient-rich smoothies. "She's been through so much," Sophie whispered. "Poaching, captivity. She deserves peace." Jocks and the others sensed the shift. They huddled closer to Kira's enclosure, their usual raucous play subdued. Lila groomed her mother obsessively, hooting softly. The colony's harmony teetered, as if Kira's decline unraveled their social fabric. Elias, now retired at 78 and living in a cozy cottage in Eldridge, received the call from Amelia. "Dr. Thorne, it's Kira. She's not eating. We think." It's the end. His heart clenched. Elias had visited sporadically since retiring, but life grandchildren, lectures, a bout with pneumonia, had kept him away. Memories flooded. Kira's first tool-use demonstration, her protective stance during a storm, the way she'd press her forehead to the glass when he approached. "I have to see her," he murmured, hanging up. Packing a small bag, he hummed that old tune, hoping it might bridge the years. As Elias drove the winding roads to Willowbrook, the English countryside blurred into a montage of memories. He recalled his first day at the sanctuary in 1970, a rainy afternoon when the director handed him the keys to the primate lab. "These chimps will teach you more than any professor," the man said. Kira arrived months later, a scrawny bundle of fear. Elias spent nights in the observation hut, noting her behaviors. She was quick to learn sign language basics, gesturing for food or play. One evening, during a thunderstorm, Kira panicked, throwing herself against the walls. Elias, against protocol, entered the enclosure with a blanket. He sat cross-legged, humming the river song. Slowly she approached, curling beside him. That night forged their bond. Years unfolded like chapters in an epic. In 1975, Elias's research on chimpanzee empathy gained traction when Kira consoled an injured juvenile, mirroring human compassion. He published in Nature, crediting her. Media dubbed her the wise one of Willowbrook. Personal milestones intertwined. When Elias's wife, Clara, passed from cancer in 1992, he found solace in the enclosure. Kira, sensing his grief, offered a branch of chimp's gesture of comfort. "She knows," he told Amelia, then a junior keeper. Subplots emerged. A rival researcher, Dr. Harlan Reed, questioned Elias's methods, accusing him of anthropomorphism. "They're animals, not friends," Harlan sneered during a conference. Elias defended with data, but the feud added tension, pushing him to prove the emotional depths of chimps. The colony faced threats, too. In 2005, activists protested captivity, chaining themselves to gates. Elias negotiated, emphasizing conservation. Kira's story rescued from poacher-swayed public opinion. Now, as Elias parked at Willowbrook, doubt crept in. Had time eroded their connection? Amelia greeted him, her eyes red-rimmed. "She's weak, doctor. But maybe. You can reach her." They walked to the enclosure, the air thick with chimp calls. Kira lay in a straw bed, eyes half closed, breathing shallow. The troop watched from branches, jocks pacing anxiously. Elias knelt by the viewing window. "Kira, it's me, Elias." No response. His voice cracked. "Remember the song?" He began humming, the melody weaving through the air like a thread from the past. At first, nothing. Then Kira's ear twitched. Her eyes fluttered open, focusing on him. A soft hoot escaped her lips. The staff gasped. Sophie whispered, "It's working." Kira extended a trembling hand. Elias pressed his palm to the glass, tears streaming. In that moment, decades dissolved. The reunion ignited a flicker of life in Kira. As Elias continued the song, her grip on an imaginary hold strengthened. Amelia unlocked a side door for closer access under strict safety protocols. Elias entered, sitting a safe distance. "Tell me stories," Amelia urged. "Like you used to," Elias recounted. The day Kira solved a puzzle box faster than expected, earning extra fruits. The time she adopted an orphan chimp, teaching it to climb. Kira's eyes brightened, her head tilting as if remembering. Then, a twitch. Kira glanced at a corner pile of leaves. Elias followed, gently sifting. Beneath a cache, withered apples, nuts, biscuits, hoarded food. "She's been saving it," Marcus marveled. Waiting for ... something. Elias's epiphany hit. Waiting for him. Kira had conserved energy, sensing his return. The bond wasn't one-sided. It was mutual, profound. The discovery galvanized the staff. They offered bits from the stash, and Kira nibbled. The troop responded, vocalizing excitedly. Lila approached, grooming Elias through the barrier, rare acceptance. Days blurred into a vigil. Elias stayed, sharing meals, reminiscing. Subtle improvements. Kira sat up, interacted weakly. But age prevailed. One evening, as sunset painted the enclosure gold, Kira squeezed Elias's hand one last time. Her eyes met his, conveying peace. She slipped away, surrounded by her family, human and chimp. Willowbrook mourned, but celebrated. A memorial gathered hundreds, staff, scientists, locals. Elias spoke. "Kira taught us empathy transcends species. Her life saves others." Her story went viral, boosting conservation funds. Elias founded the Kira Foundation, funding anti-poaching patrols. In quiet moments, Elias visited the enclosure, humming the song. The troop carried on, Lila stepping up as matriarch. Kira's echo lingered, a reminder of unbreakable bonds. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.